And so while a father has the right to tell his children, look, this is what you need to do, and they say, why? I have often said it is appropriate and right and fitting. Don't apologize for it if you give the answer, because I'm your father. That's a legitimate answer, right? And so don't hear me saying that that's a bad answer. But we also know that in order for the family to work well, you don't want to have to pull that every single time, right? You don't want to have to pull that every single time. You want the child to grow and mature and do it because they want to do it. You want to do it because of love. I was thinking of this illustration of my own children. When my kids were growing up, I would tell, say my son Zach was doing something that was annoying his sister, would maybe harm her sister, maybe bring him up in the teenage years. He would do something, say something that maybe not be good for her, whatever the case. And sometimes I had to stop and say, Zach, you love your sister, don't you? Well, of course. I know you love your sister. You want what's best for your sister, don't you? Yes. Do you want to hurt your sister? No. Well, then stop doing what you're doing because you're hurting her. You see, you got to walk through that. Sometimes you got to connect the dots and see that. Oh, that is true. I don't want to hurt him. Now, I could have just said, look, I'm your dad. I'm telling you, stop it. And sometimes I had to do that. But sometimes you say, you walk them through. You don't want to do that. You don't want to hurt your sister. You don't want to hurt this family. You don't want to do that, right? And he was saying, oh, that's, you see. And so that's what Paul is saying here to Philemon. Look, I could just command you, but I'm not going to do that because you love your brothers and sisters in Christ. And so I'm going to remind you of that. So stop hurting them. And here's what you need to do. This is obvious. This is a black and white issue. You know what's required of you. And so let me just gently remind you for the sake of love. You see how he exercises his authority?